Hey guys, this is Elena Seungeun Lee from Welcome to share. Welcome to the video of AP Environmental Science. In this video, we're going to learn about the fascinating world of biomes. These large land regions are defined by their climate, soil, and most importantly, their unique plant and animal life. We're also going to look at 3 different types of deserts and grasslands. So let's embark on this ecological journey together. So starting with biomes. So biomes are extensive areas of Earth's surface that share similar climates and dominant plant life. They're not uniform. This is important. You have to remember that they are rather a mosaic of diverse patches influenced by factors like latitude and elevation, annual precipitation, and temperature. So remember that these are really just several types, a certain type of different land regions, and they're not uniform, they're very diverse, and they're more of a mosaic of patches. However, we can see each biome is characterized by a specific combination of climate and dominant vegetation. So from the scorching Sahara Desert, where you can see by this color, like Sahara deserts over here, to the frigid Arctic tundra, where there's polar ice over here. These biomes are home to ecosystems that have uniquely adapted to their own environments. And then, but before we dive in, it's crucial to understand the difference between weather and climate, just to remind, right? Weather is what we experience day to day, so it's like short term, right? It's like hours to days, it's like local area short term. So it's like precipitation, temperature, wind, speed, and cloud cover. So every time you see a forecast, it's like the weather forecast. How's the weather today? But in contrast, climate is like a long term of it's like area's general pattern of atmospheric conditions over decades along the long term temperature and precipitation patterns. So you won't say that the climate changes day by day because it's more of the long term pattern of it. So rather you're living in tropical climate era or like so it does not change day by day. Now let's move on to different types of biomes and their distinct characteristics. And in doing so, we're going to look at different type of deserts. So in this picture, you're going to see the picture that you're seeing here is a picture of a tropical desert. And this is a graph of it, how you can see the freezing point over here and also how the precipitation differs and temperature differs by month. So let's look at the tropical deserts. In hot and dry tropical deserts like the Sahara, we see minimal vegetation and a landscape marked by rocks and sands. They have very few plants and it's more of a hard wind-blown surface. Factors like overgrazing and climate change have intensified wind-blown dust storms here. You can see that there is not much precipitation, so there's not much rain over here, and then it's really hot, really all over around the year. Moving to the temperate deserts that look like this, like the Mojave, there are more plants. You can see that there are more plants living here, and then you can see that there's even more precipitation compared to the tropical desert, and also the temperature is kind of fluctuating compared to the tropical desert. So there are more plants, especially drought-resistant shrubs and cacti, right? And it's like southern part of U.S. state of California. And these deserts experience higher precipitation than the tropical ones like that I've mentioned before, and also you can see that daytime temperatures are high in summer and low in winter, and there's more precipitation than in tropical deserts. So you can see that it's like this, so it's kind of curved, but compared to that you can see how the general temperature of tropical deserts is just really remaining high. And then let's move on to the last type of desert we're going to look today, which is the cold deserts, and it looks like this. And you can see how the overall temperature is really lower compared to temperate and tropical deserts. So in cold deserts like the Gobi Desert in Mongolia, vegetation is very sparse, and with extreme temperatures and low precipitation, plants and animals here have unique adaptations that help them to stay cool and to get enough water to survive in these harsh conditions. Okay, and now let's look at types of grasslands. So this one is a tropical grassland, or you can call it as a savanna. So tropical savannas like those in East Africa are grasslands with scattered trees and variety of grazing and browsing animals. The vegetation here has deep roots to survive droughts and extreme heat. You can remember that these like this, and then you can see there's lots kind of precipitation over here. If we move on to types of another grassland, which is a prairie or temperate grassland, you can see that the precipitation is much more higher than the tropical grassland, and also the climate or the temperature over here is more fluctuating, right, compared to the tropical ones. So they have cold winters and hot, dry summers. They're often converted into farmlands due to their fertile soils. And also, fires driven by winds are common and play a natural role in maintaining these grasslands too. And you can also remember that there are different types of prairies. One is tall grass prairie and another one is short grass prairie. Now lastly, this is what what we call it as a cold grassland or Arctic tundra. You can see that precipitation is kind of lower than the tropical one, the temperate one, the prairie, and also it's much more colder at January and December, right? So Arctic tundra is like a cold and tree-less plain with short growing season, and plants stay close to the ground, and animals have thick fur for insulation. And also there's something called a permafrost layer, which creates seasonal wetlands, and it's crucial for these biomes ecology. So let's look at some quiz. It will be a short fill in the blank questions. So yeah, try to figure out the answers that match these questions. So it says large regions characterized by a certain climate and dominant plant life are called, yes, it's called biomes. We have looked at different types of biomes today, right? And the large grazing animals such as wild bees and gazelles are associated with which biome? So you can see that for there are grazing animals, so there should be enough like grass, right? And also a suitable and appropriate climate for animals to live. That would be savanna, or in other words, that would be tropical, right? Grasslands. And it's the most important factor in determining which biome is found in a particular area is by climate. Climate, you remember comparing climate versus weather, right? Climate is long term and weather is short term. Which of the following biomes have bitterly cold winters, hot, dry summers, and receive sparse precipitation? So you have to remember that it's bitterly cold and it's really hot during the summer, and there's not much precipitation. That would be temperate grasslands. And the biome that has warm temperatures year-round and widely spaced clumps of trees, there are trees, right? This would be savanna, right? It has warm temperature year-round, so around the year. No more questions. Which type of desert would have high daytime temperatures in summer, low temperature in winter, and moderate precipitation? So you have to remember that there are kind of fluctuation, right? It's high during the summer, it's low during the winter, and there is so precipitation. This would be temperate deserts, right? And then we have mildly scattered clumps of trees, warm temperatures year-round, and alternating dry and wet seasons with herds of herbivores are characteristics of. You have to remember that there are trees and it's year-round warm, and then there's herds of herbivores. So it would be savanna. And thick spongy mats of low-growing plants, primarily grasses, mosses, and lichens, are typical of the Arctic tundra, right? And then soil nutrients are remarkably sparse in blank, considering the overall high levels of biomass. It's temperate grasslands. Okay, so this is the references. And yeah, so thank you for joining me on this ecological exploration today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, keep exploring our wonderful world, and thanks for watching.